Welcome to the School of Wordcraft and Worldmancy. This is Feedback Frenzy.
Hey everyone, welcome to WriterGreg School of Worldcraft and Worldmancy. It's time for another Submit Saturday article critique where we will review a World Anvil article, or 1,500 words. So thank you to those who are submitting their articles at wgc.bz/submit, where you can submit your articles 24/7, and then I will then add them to the queue for a Submit Saturday. So let's go ahead and get into this article. We are featuring this episode by kitoypoy, Emperor Harmonic Horizon, from his World of Wizards Peak, the Dragon Empire. And so let's start out with the zoom out test. I kind of like the zoom out test. Okay, so we do have a little bit we do have a little bit of the repeating background, but what a fascinating image. I mean, this is an absolutely gobsmackingly beautiful image, and it might be a little busy for a background, but that I only say that hoping that it doesn't detract with how beautiful that image is as a piece of art. Okay, so we have the summer camp thing, we have the details, we have links to 2 articles. Really good to have those there to draw people in. We have, okay, the intro is again 2 quotes that we have here. Then we have the inevitable end of an age, the weight of a millennia, trouble on the horizon. Okay, so we have the intro in 3 sections. Oop, wrong way. All right. Instructor of Recruits. We all learned the tale of Harmonic Horizon as younglings, how the Dragon Emperor saved the Dragon Dauphine and let the Age of Monsters end so that the Age of Mortals could begin. It is sad to know what has become of him. Okay. Good old HH is the prime example of both. Don't meet your heroes and don't overstay your welcome. By all reports from Dragon Empire refugees, the Emperor has gone nuts and is still incredibly powerful. He has the full Mad King collection of secret police, cult of personality, and a state of constant emergency. All right. Again, the one thing that I really like about the double quotes that you use on your articles kit is that it provides the dichotomy, it provides the contrast. You have the white collar, blue collar. You have the academic versus the soldier. It's a really interesting way to provide a lot of information in character, and the use of the hero forge icon here, and having that, it really does, I think, draw people in. So that's good. So let's read the rest of the intro after the quotes. At the end of the Age of Monsters, the Emperor of the Dragon Empire was the benevolent gold dragon known as Harmonic Horizon. While fully believing in the supremacy of dragonkind, he still lamented the collateral damage that the ongoing war of burning skies between dragons and giants caused to the small folk. Okay, that is a pretty long sentence. But it's kind of the same topic. Okay, I would probably, after burning skies, I'd put a period, and you could say repeat. He lamented the collateral damage.
All right, everyone, it's time to get to work.
It's hard. I'm not sure how to create between dragons and giants caused to the small folk. You could say like the battles between dragons and giants caused the small folk harm or something like that. But that is a pretty, I think, a pretty long sentence. Shortly after the dragons retreated to their homeland, Daristrix Tolgalan, a mysterious red dome went up over the island and it vanished from the face of Arathia. It disappeared. Thousands of years later, on the day of dispelling, Harmonic Horizon was still emperor, but 100,000 years had passed for them instead of the 6 or 7,000, and a new race called the Dragonborn inhabited the island. Okay. Okay. Went over the island and it vanished. So, okay, and it vanished. So the mysterious red dome vanished. What it was covering vanished. I'm a little confused about the vanishing here. It reappeared. So it being the island, it being the dome. Uh, I'm a little bit confused on what did the people see there in that territory while the dome was in effect for the uh yeah, this one needs a lot of work. I'm rewriting for clarity as we go. Fair enough. Okay, so this is where the ABC method works really good. I'm just going to point out my confusions. You can take it from there. Okay, so I would like to know, what did people see when the dome was up? Because one of the stories that I've written, one of my NaNoWriMo books, is that there was a magical dome that covered a castle, and everybody could still see inside the castle for the 116 years that the dome was up and had frozen everyone in time. They could walk up and, build a tower, look down the dome and see the guards frozen in time. What would happen if someone walked up to this red dome? Would they see anything? Would they see a crater? Is it lost in the mist? It's just an interesting thing. Okay, now a new race called the Dragonborn inhabited the island. Okay, and then maybe another confusion. Uh, when you say are the Dragonborn from inside the dome or outside the dome? Did all of the dragons go inside the door bubble, the 100,000 years? Okay, so that's another. I'm a little confused on that. Was there anyone on the island that wasn't in the dome? Was the entirety of the island in the dome? Was there only like a peak of the island? One mountain from the island was in the dome, but the rest of the island was not. So just a little bit of confusion on uh, the did the entire island disappear and the water rushed in to cover it, type stuff. Um, right. Harmonic Horizon was anointed as the seventh emperor of the Dragon Empire at the end of the Age of Monsters. He inherited the War of Burning Skies from his imperial forebears and spent the centuries of his rule trying to end it. He ruled fairly and was a monstrous opponent. I literally just wrote the words rushed in to fill the void. We're linked, mind meld. Okay. He ruled fairly and was a monstrous opponent on the battlefield, accounting for many dragon victories through superior tactics or his own personal power alone. When the dragon Dauphin and the storm giant princess were exchanged before birth, Harmonic Horizon initiated the treaty that ended the war. In exchange for peace and the return of their heirs, the dragons and giants were each given a homeland and the promise of a millennium of peace. The giants and dragons retreated to their respective homelands to rebuild after an age of war. Okay, this is an interesting, the use of the word age that you're using here really, speaks of a long time. And so I really don't have a scope of how much time your word age has. Is that 1,000 years? Is 1,000 year an age? Is 6 or 7,000 years an age? I really don't have the scope of age is vague on purpose. Very good. Okay. It's mythical ages. Got it. The weight of millennia. The Dragon Empire disappeared under the so-called Red Dome of Heaven at the end of the Age of Monsters, just as the giants vanished with the Lost Valley of Solo. Whether it was a curse from the gods or a mystical calamity remains a mystery. Regardless, while 6,000 or 7,000 years passed for the rest of the world, 100,000 years passed for the Dragon Empire, and millions of years completely erased the giant tribes of lost Solo, or Soyo, completely erased. Huh. Okay, this is all about Harmonic Horizon. It's about the dragon. It's about the person. So this is good information to have, but I wonder if it's important for this article. But I want to know more about. Okay, so did the giant just as the giants vanished with the last Valley of Solo. So did the giants have millions of years in their bubble, whereas the dragons had 100,000 years in theirs, and outside was only 6,000 or 7,000 years? And the reason why the millions of years erased the giant tribes is because they just literally went extinct after millions of years. And see, that's one of the challenges with World Anvil contests that we have here, is that putting enough information in a topic that it fits the length, but also, how wide you go with the prompt versus how narrow you go with the prompt is a challenge, because, a lot of this is really important to the weight of millennia. And, okay, so, yes, millions passed in the giant bubble. They did go extinct. Okay? The Dragon Empire, too, should have been lost to the weight of years and the relatively small geographic area for a burgeoning population of gargantuan dragons. They were trapped in a pocket dimension under the red dome that dimmed and darkened to simulate day and night. Through arcane research, the mages of the Empire determined that only an outside force of
Great job,
tremendous
sprinters.
power
It's
could
time to
release
rest.
them.
Marchers keep going.
Harmonic Horizon led them through the gauntlet. He ruthlessly applied the same tactical genius that he used against the giants to the survival of his people. To the survival? Or for the survival? Again, for the survival. Okay, I don't know. He limited the population of true dragons to what the island could support, about 1,000 at a time. He used rituals to the five-headed mother to convert any remaining eggs into a race that could more easily live on the island, the Dragonborn. Okay, so here, yes, the Dragonborn was invented inside the bubble and functioned for how many ever of the 100,000 years. Okay. He instituted a more rigid caste society in the empire, designated to use only as many resources as the land could generate. He encouraged intra-clan warfare to keep the population at a controllable level. He maintained an entire civilization through force of will for 100,000 subjective years. Never letting anything fall out of order. Okay, subjective years. Okay, from his point of view, it was 100,000, while objective, meaning out, if you're saying objective, meaning outside, was 6 to 7, and subjective was inside at 100,000, yeah, okay, I get, that makes sense. Then the red dome of heaven fell, and Harmonic Horizon's carefully maintained mind broke. Okay, interesting. I remained through force of will alone. My children lost to the weight of time. My morals broken on the wheel of necessity. The Dragon Empire is all that is left. Nothing else is real. It can't be. Or have I made a graven mistake? Potato. Fox potato. Five-headed mother of all us all, forgive me. Interesting. I could not sustain that voice for a long time after now about 10 hours of talking solid in 2 days. Yeah. Interesting. Trouble on the horizon. Today, the Emperor has somehow lived for more than 100,000 years and remains in control of the Dragon Empire. He was the most powerful dragon in the world when he went into exile an age of the world ago, and he still appears to be so today. He remains isolated in his eyrie in Horizon's View mountains, except for his annual imperial progress. 10 more minutes. Oh, that means I gotta finish this feedback before World Anvil starts. From the eyrie, Harmonic Horizon makes confusing, sometimes conflicting imperial proclamations that are taken as proofs of the truth and fallacy, as enforced as law by the Inquisitors of the Red Dome of Heaven. Okay. Disbelieving the truth. They range from the ridiculous, everyone must wear purple on the 3rd day of the week, to the life-changing, your 8th child shall be given to me as retainer or as a sacrifice. Dang! This is when and miraculously, families only have 7 children. Did he make contraceptives illegal for people after their 7th child? I mean, if he's lucid and nuts, I mean, he could do that, because all of a sudden he doesn't have any retainers or sacrifices, because people just stop having kids at 7. But as a father of 5, that's a lot of kids.
Only 10 minutes left, everyone. Let's squeeze out the words.
He uses warfare as a contraceptive. Well, yeah, it's effective population control. That is very true. I have a feeling that I read this article before. I don't know. Or I've read something about the dome before. It's all good. All right. Good. Okay, good article. Yeah. Okay, so what was awesome? A lot of themes in this one get carried over to other articles. Okay, what was awesome? I like the bubble. I like the time shifting. I like how the time shifting was different in the different bubbles. I liked how it could only be broken from the outside, but that was... So I'm curious to know what broke it, the day of dispelling. And why on earth would someone dispel the dragon bubble or the giant bubble? And how did they know that the giant passed millions of years if they were all extinct? That's interesting. How did they know exactly that it was? Because there was no one around to keep the records. If the giants all went extinct, how did they know it was a million years? The Day of Dispelling article tells some of that. Oh, good. Okay. Yeah. And see, again, this is what gets into the challenge of what do you put in one article versus what do you split up into multiple articles. Always a joy to read your stuff, kitoypoy. Yeah, just most bored. I wasn't bored. Confused. I think I answered confusing. Yeah, it's just a lot of grammar, readability. I think, okay, I did this to Dazzlecat. I'm going to do this to you. Okay, okay, copy. Well, yeah, there's carbon. You know, you can do when you hit a million years, you can start doing carbon dating. Okay, 741 words. Reading level, college student. Okay, this is your sentences are complex enough to go to the college student level. Okay, all right. So good article, and if you after you have that cleaned up, who knows? You may want to submit this again for a future critique, or you can send me something different. That's all good. Repeats are welcomed if you want them. All right, so thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for this Submit Saturday. I look forward to reading more fiction or articles that are submitted at wgc.bz/submit. Thank you so much, kitoypoy, for this article, and I look forward to reading anyone's fiction coming up. Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for watching this Feedback Frenzy. Be sure to show your support by liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and clicking the notification bell. WriterGreg offers coaching sessions to help bring your world to life, create compelling stories, and accomplish your creative goals. Please visit wgc.bz/coaching for more details.